My name is John Michael Foreman, Social Security number 228 179683, born in Norfolk, Virginia. Age 45, white as you see, red hair as you see, white hair, getting old. City of Boonsville, Georgia State. 50 folks that know of I pleading to their guilt and their particulars and so forth. No guilt to direct for what I was in court for. The Dollar General store, the first officer, male, told the two females, I am not to get no services, no food, no water, no nothing. The two employees from Dollar General said to the male police officer, he can't do that. He made it understood that's how it's going to be. I made it understood, so I'm not even allowed to eat or anything else. He said he didn't say that. Well, when I'm not able to gain access to such matters, no job at the moment, evac'd out of Washington State because I hold every shield, every badge, every identification, everything of every chair across the United States, of every job, everything there is, including ownership and more, from all multiple laws enforcement at the Tacoma Nativity House Shelter every day while I was there. Law enforcement by the multiples of different uniforms and firefighters and everything else making understood my job, different jobs and such matters, also a topic of all outer, non-fireable, non-arrestable, all other, to the day that I'm on machines or I am passed away. There is no ever to be no other and well exploited, including by the mass of different uniforms, the staff, including work source, the folks in law enforcement and other, and communicated cross-fireably. Work source was well put to direct of understanding copies were handed directly in a direct situation in the United States Secret Service, that I am fully active, overran as well as all authorities, all other, including bounty hunter, executioner, and more, an undercover cop, all statuses of detectives, and more. IRS, ATF, DEA, CIA, FBI, federal police officer to police officer, task force, special forces, 175th Ranger, military police officer to the 175th Rangers, U.S. Navy SEAL, U.S. Navy personnel, U.S. Navy personnel, military police officer, and more. Corps, the United States Army, private, as well as drill sergeant. Also, the factor that would be the United States Army, drill sergeant. The ranks to direct the whole of all over all other, including military police officer, United States Army, and more. SWAT, Task Force, Delta Force, Air Force, United States Coast Guard, NASA, laboratory work, hazmat work, nuclear, environmental, teacher, a trainer, a father that his children were sold in Monroe, Washington for the corrupt of such nastiness. The amount of money yet, I don't know, but we don't know. to the associates of the mass in the fights across the U.S. in almost all stores. Differently from each city, the Walmart fights, the facility fights, mental ward fights, and more. Yet those situations have not been fully displayed to my work documents. Some handed out to the community, but yet I still sit here as a civilian, which I am not. My work documents are to be filed and displayed publicly, socially, media, and directly to every direct of rank of the United States of America in employment and other than employment, recruitment. I'm also recruited. All corrupted has been well explanatory as I've been approved. Convoys, the entire Everett Washington Police Department, the entire Everett Washington Department of Corrections, and all other have held forth to the direct all has been guilty for the travels they've traveled and watched and sidelines to the wars across the world and on earth, and the work that I have had to perform, rescues, rape victims, missions to special missions, contract hitman, legalized in the United States of America to take out primary targets, terrorists, and more. Wars beyond the understanding of any hold of no man, the United States, any country, global, and on earth able to put down. As my performance is like walking in the park, having a cigarette to some understand, some a snack, or a Gatorade, as I'm performing the world's most powerful war, versus nuclear, versus gas, versus poison, airstrikes, missile strikes, the massive firepower from the massive weaponry, hand-pressed and delivered to the man that you see before you. And like a walking beyond the Terminator. Here still today, won those wars. Certain wars of such direct on hold. Agreements to the fact there is no reason to move further because of mishaps and other. To performance to every shield I hold here today and before the day, and to the day I die, well stated, badges and identifications and other. I am still at performance unarmed, unbulletproofly armed, transport and flight and more. Cash, access to any store, weaponry, tackle, to anything else needed, to any parking vehicle, to all other structures and everything else is needed. For convoys to direct when I have to step in to full target to clean a city or partials immediately as I step in. For the immediate body counts for delivery to direct dropped because of massive situations of poisonings to the foods or restaurant foods or certain other structures. That is a primary for the immediate execution on my delivery and also my appearance of first arrival, and more. Also on the news, all this is well explained, and much more. Law enforcement, the communities have conversated and rioted and exploited, and they have worked hard on the streets and not on the streets to exploit publicly, socially, immediately, and all other that is needed throughout the years. Of a full board 16 years at this time. This is if I lose my life to a lockup and disappearance. Never hands to be put on me, as I already well explained. Witnesses in the fights at the Tacoma shelter, the Tivity House of Washington State, how they robbed my house and staff and everybody else and their corruptness and so forth, and the shelters across the U.S. and global, and more. And my innocence showing up well, including the stadium riots and the riots across other cities in Sacramento, California, and more. These issues are to be handled. I'm to be geared up immediately, but still not able to be geared up, and I'm overran to handle what I need to handle. So this is a helping performance. Thank you.